tight fairways, tighter community. Your 7-iron bettors show up here, but you can always rest assured you're gonna have that community vibe, and we're talking about the Great Hills Country Club. This is one of Austin's underrated communities, and sure, it doesn't have the same prestige as Barton Creek, but it makes up for it with community. And get this, the domain is basically in your backyard. You can finish playing 18 holes and then go have sushi, go shop at Nordstrom, or go to a tech happy hour on the 183 corridor, all within about 10 minutes of your driveway. So today, I'm gonna break down where this property is, the golf course, of course, the amenities, the types of homes you can find, and nearby hotspots. Stick around to the end. I'm gonna summarize the pros and cons so you can decide if this is the right neighborhood for you. Hi, I'm Nicole Cooper, UT Golf alum and real estate pro, and I've been helping people buy and sell in the Austin area for over 15 years, especially in golf communities. You see, I don't just know the market, I have walked every single fairway of all of these courses over time, and if you are looking for lifestyle and location, you are in the right spot. Let's hop into the map so I can show you how convenient this golf course is to town. First of all, you're about 13 miles from downtown Austin. It's pretty easy to get downtown. You can either hop in on Loop 1 or I-35 and get straight downtown. But the even cooler part is right up here in this area of town. Right here, we have the Arboretum. The Arboretum is an outdoor shopping mall with restaurants, clothing stores, and the like. And just across over here, we have the entire domain. And we'll go into that into more detail later, but I just want you to realize how close you are to living near all types of wonderful commercial restaurants, stores, and things like that. And then up and down this 183 corridor here, that is what we refer to as our tech corridor. Apple, Samsung, all the tech offices, not all of them, but a lot of tech offices are up and down that 183 corridor. So it's a really great location, easy to get in and out of town. Now, the Great Hills community is not gated. However, you have super easy access to restaurants, shopping, and the like. Now let's talk schools. The interesting thing about this community is it's divided in the middle between Round Rock ISD and Austin ISD. So depending on where you live depends which school system you're gonna feed into. If you feed into the Austin ISD, you're gonna feed into Anderson, which is down here on the southern portion of the Great Hills community. And here's a photo of what it looks like from the outside. If you're in the northern part of the community, you're going to feed into the Round Rock ISD, which is Westwood High School. And here's a little outside pic of the Westwood High School. Now, once we go into the grades, we're gonna start with the Round Rock ISD. I'm not gonna go through the middle and elementary schools because there's quite a lot of them depending on where you live. If you wanna have that map, there's one connected below and you can see what the grades are there at texasschools.gov. So first of all, Round Rock ISD gets 87 out of 100. Their total enrollment, over 46,000 students. Here's their diversity graph here in the middle, and about 14.5 students per teacher. And the Round Rock ISD leads to the Westwood High School. And Westwood High School gets 94 out of 100, just over 2,800 students. Here's your diversity graph, and they get about 17 students per teacher. Now, if we switch to the southern half of the Great Hills community, that's the Austin ISD, 77 out of 100. Huge student enrollment, over 73,000 students. Here's a diversity graph in the middle. Puts it about 16.5 students per teacher. And if you're in the Austin ISD portion, that feeds you to Anderson High School, which gets an 86 out of 100. Just over 2,200 students, diversity graph here, and that puts it at almost 19 students per teacher. So you can see the differences between the two ISDs depending on which part of the community you live in. Now we're gonna talk golf. This course has been around since the 70s. In fact, Don January designed the course back in 1970, and they are just about to undergo another renovation now, or I should say a new renovation now. We're 2025. So here we are in the map. This is the Great Hills community back in the kind of the middle of this Arboretum area. And as we zoom in here, I'm gonna switch over to the satellite map. I can show you kind of what's going on with the golf course. You can see how there's homes developed all around the outside of it. You're gonna have a lot of house-lined fairways on the edges. And then as we zoom in here on the country club itself, you can start to see the amenities come into play. We're gonna go through that more later, but you can see they have a few tennis courts here, some more over by the clubhouse. This is the new clubhouse and pro shop. They have a pool. The clubhouse and pro shop was just redone a couple of years ago, but they're even going to do some more modifications in this next remodel project. And they're expected to do the remodel project the end of 2025, meaning begin it the end of 2025. They're going to redo the sprinkler system. They're going to redo some bunkers and greens, and I think they're going to change a couple of holes just a little bit. So the course will be closed for a while. Speaking of the course, membership, this is a member-owned golf course. There aren't many around in this area that are. In fact, the only other one is Austin Country Club in the Austin area, but that just means the members vote on everything. So they have voted to do this remodel. They'll be shut down, I don't know, maybe 8 months, maybe a year. And they do have plans to have some like golf simulators in the parking garage and things like that. So they're going to keep the community up and the social activities going while these golf remodels are underway. So it won't just be a completely closed down club, but if you're thinking about joining anytime soon, it will be a little awkward for that remodel period. Currently, membership fees are around $67,500, and I fully expect that to go up when they come out on the other side of that remodel. It is a beautiful course. It's called Great Hills for a reason. They are great big hills. And let me show you, this is 18 right here. You're hitting up to that par 5, up towards that house. This was our home course in college. So we walked this course, and let me tell you, it was a struggle walking up this 18th hole when you're carrying your bag and you're tired at the end of the day. So Great Hills is an appropriate name. They have to have gas-powered golf carts because the hills are so steep in portions, but that also leads to really beautiful views. Here's a view out the back patio here. It overlooks, number 1 would be off to the left. This is number 7, and you've got 3 or 4 holes coming in there to the patio, so you can heckle your buddies out there while they're playing through. Here's another photo of one of the holes where you can see that undulation in the fairway. If you're going to walk, you need to be in good shape. Now, the front 9, I will say, is a lot easier to walk in than the back 9. The holes are all, the greens finish right at the tee boxes. On the back side, there's some long distances between green and tee box. So you may want to, if you plan to walk on the back, you may want to have one buddy have a cart in the group to carry you from those long distances on the back side. This par 5 here is a fantastic finishing hole. You have to hit it a country mile to hit it in 2, or else you're hitting wedge in there for your 3rd shot. You can't see the green, so it's always a guess as to how close you are to the pin from down below the hole. Super fun to finish. From the golf course to the homes, I'm going to give you 3 different price points, and one of them is even actually on the golf course. This first one, however, is not on the golf course. It is just over 2,400 square feet, 3/10 of an acre, listed for $799,000. And this one was built in 2007. You're gonna find a lot of multi-level homes in this area because of the terrain. So sometimes you may walk in on the ground level and there may be a floor below you because of the terrain. Sometimes it might have 3 levels, like half floor levels. So just expect that in this neighborhood. But this is just a 1-story home here, $799,000. You can get kind of an idea of the finish out that you might expect to find at that price point in the Great Hills neighborhood. Our next option, this one here, is on the golf course. About the same size, 2,453 square feet, again 3/10 of an acre, but you can see how the price point goes up when it's actually on the golf course. $1,340,000, built in 1981. This one has been modernized and updated. You can see all these beautiful glass doors out the back, so you can open them up and have that indoor to outdoor living. All the kitchen and countertops and things have been remodeled as well, so that pushes that price point up. In general, you're not going to find any new construction in this community because all the land has been built out. When the golf course was built in the 70s, the homes started started being constructed then, and you won't find too much land left to be developed. You'll find homes like these that have been remodeled, and then there's just a few that are up on a hill that are relatively new construction. They found a little pocket there to add about 6 homes in right near the clubhouse, actually. Our next option here is the highest option in the area, and this is because it has been down to the studs remodeled, and they've actually made an addition on this one. So this one's just over 3,700 square feet, 2/10 of an acre, just under $2 million at $1,970,000. They put year built 2022, but that is just the year they did the major remodel. But have a look at this on the inside and out. They didn't leave any surface untouched. They completely just brought it onto today's trend, and so it feels like it's a 2022 construction, even though it was just a remodel then. So these are the types of homes that you can expect to find in Great Hills. They are gonna run the gamut, because you're gonna have some in original condition that have never been fixed up. You're gonna have some like we just looked at that are totally fixed up to the nines, and you're gonna have every kind of condition in between. So the prices will fluctuate a lot in the neighborhood depending on the condition they're in and the view that they have. Even if they don't front the golf course, some of them have the most amazing panoramic views, and that's where you'll be paying a premium as well. And that's what Great Hills is known for. That whole neighborhood is finding a house with one of those beautiful panoramic views. So when you're looking in Great Hills, don't settle for a flat lot. Now we're going to talk amenities if you are a member of the Great Hills community or country club. Now remember, this isn't a gated community. There's no mandatory membership in the country club at all. But if golf, tennis, social is your thing and you want to be a member, then these are the other things you can expect to find. We've already flown in high overhead, and I've shown you the pickleball, tennis, swimming pool area right up here at the club, and it is very nice and tucked right there at the clubhouse, so everything is very centrally located. Here's a view of their dining room where they host events. That's the formal dining room, and then they have the less formal grill. We'll see that later. But here's the very, very nice swimming pool where they have lanes you can swim laps, and they have an area where the kids can play. This is the entry right outside the grill. As you can see, everything is nice and modern in there, as they've only updated it a couple years ago. And like I mentioned, they're going to be updating some more. Apparently the noise level is so high in the grill, they're putting in some soundproofing, so you can hear each other better while you're talking in the grill. Here's another cool view of the pool, and it just shows that how they have events there. There are a lot of social events. The club at Great Hills has some of the highest, lowest handicap, highest level golfers in town. They're having tournaments all the time. Men's tournaments, women's tournaments, kids tournaments. They have kids camps and training programs, and of course they have all of the wine and dine and social activities. They have one where they give away a dinner to, like, you get in a lottery. It's kind of like a bingo, and it's really fun. Rick Arnett is the head pro out there, and he tries to create all these fun ideas for the members to come and get to know each other and create that cool sense of community. They also have a fitness room and a private kind of dining area where you can rent it out to have birthday parties and stuff like that. And then lastly, before we move on, there are tons of hiking trails out here. You have the Great Hills Neighborhood Park, where all these, you can see on this overhead map here, all these dark green areas are part of the green belt. So you can go back in there and hike all around. And this is an example of what the trails look like back in all those beautiful trees. Austin is really, really well known for all of our trail system. The city and the Park Service does a really good job keeping everything really pretty and usable for everyone. And deer, you're gonna see deer all throughout the Great Hills area, and that's just one of the benefits of being out there in nature. Now we're going to talk about nearby hotspots. And I can't go into everything because there is so much nearby. I'm just going to highlight the things that I think are the most fun in the area and the most well used. So first of all, here is Great Hills right over here. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this area is the Arboretum and this area is the Domain. Two very big shopping centers. The Domain is much larger than the Arboretum, but within the Arboretum here, you can see how it has restaurants, it has a hotel, it has a movie cinema. We've got the Cheesecake Factory, Brazilian Steakhouse, things of the sort. And we also have a Porsche dealership there. So the Arboretum is an outdoor mall and shopping experience. And you can see how they have little activities on the weekends, movie nights and things like that with a little live music. Then we're hopping over to the Domain, and it's much larger. It encompasses this whole area up here. So you're going to have department stores like Nordstrom's and Macy's, all of the restaurants, hotels, cinema, and everything in between. So the Domain is also an outdoor shopping mall where it's huge. In fact, some of it you might even take your car, well, you would drive to another part unless you had on some, like, really get some exercise in. But they have a lot of indoor outdoor food spaces like this one here, and there's boutique shops, every kind of shopping you might imagine. And this is another example of one of the outside seating places. It's kind of located in the heart of that Rock Rose district. So you have a few districts within the Domain, and the Rock Rose area has more of the bars and restaurants, and then the kind of southwestern portion of the Domain has more of the just true mall shopping. You also have a Whole Foods market in there if you want to get some healthy food to cook at home, and you can also go to the cinema. And they have one of the iPic movie theaters where they come and serve you at your seat, so it's pretty cool. Two other hotspots right by the Domain. You have TopGolf Austin. TopGolf is a fun place to go if you just want to hit some golf balls out into the range. Everybody goes there and does little happy hour parties and things and getting you some good golf practice in. And then we are also right next to Q2 Stadium, the home of our Verde Austin FC soccer club. One of the most fun things to do for families, singles, couples. It's a hoot, and everybody that, even if you don't like soccer, everybody in Austin loves the Austin FC. You've got to definitely attend one of these games while you're in town. And then, as I mentioned before, this whole 183 corridor has a ton of businesses, mostly in tech businesses all throughout here. So chances are, if you're in tech, you wouldn't have that far to drive to work. And in addition, there are restaurants and shopping like Targets, Academy, things like that, Home Depots, all up and down 183 as well. And then don't forget, you're not far to the center of Austin. You're only about 13 miles to get downtown, so it is a super, super convenient location for just about everything. So now I'm gonna wrap it up, all the pros and cons in one spot. First of all, it's the location. It has such a prime location, like I just mentioned, in the middle of all the shopping, yet you are in the beautiful rolling hill country with panoramic views. Next, you have a somewhat affordable private golf club at $67,500. You're less than the average. We go all the way up to $200,000 on our most expensive private clubs in town. So it's right now, it's a good buy. You have top rated schools, whether you feed into Westwood or Anderson, both are very well respected high schools. It's a tight knit community vibe. Everybody likes to come up to the club and get to know each other and do all the social activities together. And lastly, it's just the scenic beauty. You're so close to downtown Austin, yet you feel like you're out in the middle of the hill country. Now, what's not so great about Great Hills? Well, it's not a gated community, and generally when you have one of those private country clubs, you want to live inside the gates, and there aren't any. This isn't the case at Great Hills. Next, a lot of the homes need updating. You know, if they were built in the 70s and they haven't been done up yet, you know, you may have to deal with like electric and plumbing, the stuff that's not sexy. I mean, it's fun to change a kitchen and make it look all gorgeous, but you may actually have to work with all the guts of the house too to get it up to good living right now, and that's not fun. And the last con is they're about to close down for a remodel. So if you want immediate golf, you may have to wait just a little while they're undergoing their remodel of the sprinkler system and the golf course. So what do you think? Is this the right community for you? If you want to see some homes in person, we're always around to help you do that. All you have to do is call us, text us, send us an email, schedule a Zoom call. We're always available to help you find the perfect home that matches your lifestyle. So until next time, be kind to yourself and others. I can't wait to see you on the tee box.